I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening everyone. uh, काफी लंबा ब्रेक हो गया पिछले कुछ टाइम से. क्या किया इस ब्रेक में? Did anyone do anything?
आप बोले तो सब एक बार देखे थे.
Has anyone solved questions from the book or anything in this given time frame? Hello.
No, sir. I'm right
Not
now. I'm
done.
not in my home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. No issues. But ideally you should. Okay. I'll just tell you one small thing before starting, that till your JEE Advanced 2026 uh, has will happen. Okay. It will happen in the last Sunday of May 2026. So till your JEE Advanced 2026, not a single day is your holiday. With that mindset, you need to work, right? And this is how, like, this is how we prepare. This is how you should prepare. Okay, fine. So today we'll be leveling up a bit. I hope you are. I had told you in the previous class also that today we'll be learning a very new and very important, a very what we can say, a very innovative series, and it is like of a quite difficult level when it comes to solving questions, because many people are not able to think of this series on their own. So I hope you are ready. Is everyone ready? Preeti, Bhaskar, Omkar,
Yes,
Vignesh,
sir. Yes, sir.
Divya, Gayatri, Ashrita.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So this series is called telescopic series. Okay, fine. So what happens in this telescopic series is, so in order to explain this thing correctly, I'll just a minute. I'll just take one small example. So you have to find 1 by, okay, uh, sigma I will going from 1 to 100, uh, I into I plus 1. What does this thing mean? What does this mean? Anyone? Can anyone explain me the expanded form? What
I
is the
is
expanded
1
of the?
200, sir.
I is 1 to 100.
Yes, sir.
So what am I asking you basically? So in other words, I am asking you 1 by 1 into 2 plus 1 by 2 into 3 plus 1 by 3 into 4 plus so on up to 1
GP,
by
sir.
100 into 101. Are you sure this is a GP?
Sorry, AP,
Is this a
sir.
GP? Are you sure this is an AP?
Yes,
No.
sir.
Sure. How is this an AP? AP means that between two terms, your difference should be same. AP, the meaning of AP, arithmetic progression, is that if you take any two terms, any two adjacent terms, so your difference between that two terms should be constant. That is what is meant by your term AP. So this is not an AP. GP also, it is not. AGP, you have learned, it is not an AGP also. So, how do we proceed such a question? So that is where the term or the basic concept of telescopic series comes into picture. So see, what is its ith term? Its ith term as represented, it is 1 by I into I plus 1, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
just think, how can I represent this thing? If you look at it clearly, this thing can be written as 1. The 1 on the numerator can be written as I plus 1 minus I, right? What is I plus 1 minus I? I plus 1 minus I is 1, right? So I have
Yes, sir.
like expanded it into this form. Now using distributive property. So I plus 1 by I into I plus 1 minus I by I into I plus 1. So from the first term, numerator and denominator, I am cancelling out I plus 1. So it is 1 by I. Fine. From the second term, I am cancelling out 1 by I plus 1. Right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone got it?
Yes, sir.
How you get
So
I
basically,
into
how did I
minus
get?
one. Second step, sir.
Second, this term, I plus 1 minus I. So see, I had a 1 on the numerator, right? 1 in the numerator. So I have splitted it into two parts. The first part is I plus 1. The second part is I. Okay, fine. This is how I did it. And after that, I used distributive property. Like I distributed my sum into two parts, difference into two parts. Fine.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you look at it clearly, what will happen now? Now it has become a lot more simpler and a lot more intuitive. So I'll just give you a picture of this. So it is basically sigma 1 by I minus 1 by I plus 1. Okay. I is going from 1 to 100. Fine. So what is happening here? If you look clearly, I'll just write these terms in a vertical format. So when I put the value of I as 1, so it is 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2. When I put the value of I as 2, so it is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. When I put the value of I as 3, it is 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4. So on, I keep putting the values. So the second last value, that is I, is 99. It is this
Minus
thing,
100, sir.
right? And what will be my
Yes.
last value? Last value will be 1 by 100 minus 1 by 101,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes,
So
sir.
what is happening in this series? If you look at it clearly, my minus 1 by 2 from the first term and my plus 1 by 2 from the second term will get cancelled out, right? It is allowed, right?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, my minus 1 by 3, my second term from my my second term from my second term, basically my minus 1 by 3 from my second term and my plus 1 by 3 from my third term are getting cancelled out. The same thing will follow with the next term. The same thing
Yes.
with the next term, right?
Yes, sir.
So in other words, my 1 by 99, I have this term 1 by 99 over here. This will get cancelled from the previous term, right? It is a
Yes, sir.
pattern. You need to observe a pattern. It is a
Yes,
pattern.
sir.
Same thing,
Yes,
my
sir.
1 by 100 is getting cancelled out from my minus 1 by 100. So great, we got something. Did we get something? Yes. We got
Yes,
only
sir.
two terms remaining. We got only two terms
1
remaining. If you look,
minus 1
1
by
by
101.
Not one.
right? So it is
Yes, sir.
basically 100 by 101,
100 by 101.
101.
right? So
Yes, sir.
I know. So if you look at this series from the starting, so like it was not an AP, it was not a GP, it was not a AGP. It was none of the above. But in order to take the sum of such a series, we had a small trick that we could like divide the term into two parts. And when we divided the term into two parts, one part came in minus, one part came in plus. And what was happening was that the immediately next term got cancelled out from each term. So we inferred that our second last term, first part is also getting cancelled out. Last part's first part is also getting cancelled out. So just generalizing this, so this is one of the examples of how telescopic series works. Uh, so now everyone has got right what is meant by the term telescopic series. So what
Yes,
happens in
sir.
telescopic series is that okay. So I'll just give you a small introduction to it. So what happens is, for example, you have this term AI. Fine. Okay, I is going from some number L1 to L2. Okay. So what will happen is this thing can be written as Ti minus T of I plus 1. I will go from L1 to L2. Okay. So basically your AI will be splitted into two parts. And what will happen when you split it into two parts? That when you add it to the immediately next term, your second part will get cancelled out. So this is what will happen. So just doing it in this way. Arey yaar. Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Actually, my taskbar went away, so I thought, okay, correct. So just generalizing this question a little bit, and so it is sigma. I will go from 1 to n, and the same thing, 1 by I into I plus. So can any one of you think how we can proceed? It is really simple. So just writing it in the same way. So it is sigma I is equal to 1 to n. Now n is any natural number. So again the same thing, 1 by I minus 1 by I plus 1. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is correct, right? Okay, great. So just writing the sum again in the vertical format. So first of all, I will put the value 1, I as 1. Then I will put I as 2. Then I will put I as 3. So on, right? Up to my last value. My last value will be 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1. Fine. And what will be my
Yes,
second
sir.
last value? Can anyone tell me what will be my second last value? My second last value over here. What
1
will be my
by
second last
Minus
value?
1 by n. 1 by
n minus 1.
n minus 1
Minus 1 by
minus
n,
1 by
right?
1
n.
by n.
Correct, correct,
Yes.
absolutely correct. So what happens when I add all of these values together? So my minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2 got cancelled out, right? My minus 1 by 3, 1 by 3 got cancelled out. Same
1
thing, my
by 1
minus 1 by
minus
4
1 by n
gets
plus 1.
cancelled out. Sorry,
Sir.
can you repeat?
1 by 1 minus 1 by n plus 1.
Correct. So yeah, correct. So as she told, so what will happen to my second last term? My second last term will also get cancelled out from the one term before. And my 1 by n will also get cancelled out, right? So at last, I am just left with two terms, 1 by 1 minus 1 by n plus 1. So this is my final answer. It can also be written as n by n plus 1,
By n plus 1.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is my final answer. So moving ahead with a few important examples of such series. So this was one of the example. Similarly, we have many important examples that we'll be discussing today related to telescopic series. Okay. Okay, great. So I hope every one of you has understood why telescopic series is important and why, right? Has everyone understood telescopic series basics?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Bhaskar, Omkar,
Yes,
Gayatri, Bhavna.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the just the basics that are terms getting cancelled out uh, from the immediately next term. Now I'll just just have one thing in mind to tell you. If this thing is possible in summation, so this thing is also possible in multiplication. Okay. So we basically telescopic series has two types. Okay. It has two types. One is in addition and one is in multiplication. So I'll just give you one example to show you how things work in multiplication. But I can guarantee you that more than 90% of the times, your questions will be related to addition only. Because addition is much more intuitive and it is easier to think. But I would want you to study multiplication also because when we were in our time, so we used to do multiplication questions also. But till now, like in the history, no one has asked questions related to multiplication. So I will just give you some basic examples related to how things work in multiplication. Fine. So just giving an example. So pi. I hope every one of you now understands the pi operator. What is meant by the pi operator? Everyone gets now, right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes,
Pi means
sir.
Yes.
multiplication of the terms. Okay.
Multiplication. Yes, sir.
So I is going from 1 to n. 1 to n. Okay. Let me just take it n only. Or okay, no worries. I'll just take it some value. Any value. Can you tell me any value? What do you want it?
50.
25.
50.
Hmm. 50. Okay, no issues. 50. So 1 plus, okay, 1 by I. Fine. Everyone got it?
Yes, sir.
Everyone got the question? So what am I asking you basically, first of all? So basically I'm asking you 1 plus 1 by 1 into 1 plus 1 by 2 into 1 plus 1 by 3, so on multiplied into 1 plus 1 by 50, right? This is what I'm asking you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
So luckily I have written it in the correct format up to the correct limit. So yes, it is correct. So now just looking at its ith term. So what is its ith term? It is 1 by 1 plus 1 plus 1 by I, right? So taking this I above, so it can be written as 1 plus I by I, right? It can be written like 1 plus I by I, correct?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Correct. I have just taken this above and reduced it to
Yes.
a common denominator, right? So first of all, substituting the value of I as 1. So it is 2 by 1. After that, substituting it as 2. So I have 3 by 2. After that, I have 4 by 3, right? Right? This is correct, right? So on
Yes, sir.
up to 51 by 50, right? And what will be my second last term? Can anyone just tell me what will be my value of second last term?
50 by
Second last
49.
term.
50 by
Or
50 by
49.
51.
correct.
49.
50 by 49. 50 by 49, absolutely correct. So what happens when you keep multiplying such terms? So as you can see clearly, your 2 from the first term cancels out 2 from the second term. 2 is in the numerator of the first term, right? And it is cancelling out 2 from the denominator of the second term. The same thing is happening. 3 of the first term, 3 of the second term is cancelling out 3 from the third term in denominator. Same thing goes with 4. So can I say my 49 will also get cancelled out from the previous term?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
And
sir.
same way, my 50 will also get cancelled out. So what am I left
Yes.
with?
Yes, sir.
What am I left
51,
with?
1
sir.
I am
into
left with
51.
51.
51.
Yes, sir.
1 into 51. So it is 51 only. 51 by 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So let's also
Yes, sir.
just generalize this question. How do we generalize this question? Generalize means I have to take it up to any value n instead of taking it to a value 50. Okay, just a minute. It is 1 by I. 1 plus 1 by I. What happened? Is everything all right, every one of you? You don't seem in enough energy today.
So I think, are we discussing about the sigma or pi?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, we were discussing about pi only. Yeah, I just fine. Fine. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
So now I am earlier what was happening? We were going till 50. Now we are going up to any value, any value n. Okay, n is any natural number. So how do we do it? We proceeded in the same way, right? Our 1 plus 1 by I is equal to 1 plus I by I, right? So we are doing basically the same thing, but now we are
Yes.
just doing it up to any natural number n, any arbitrary number n. So just taking its value, it is 2 by 1 into 3 by 2 into 4 by 5, sorry, 4 by 3, right? Into so on. What will be my second last term? Or first of all, what will be my last term? My last term will be 1 plus n by n,
N
right?
plus 1 by
Yes.
n. Yes, sir.
Right? And what will be my
Yes,
second last
sir.
term? My second last term will be
N
n
by
by
n
n
by
minus
n
1.
minus
Yes,
2.
sir.
No, it will be n minus 1, not n minus 2, right? Because it is just deducting by 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my 2 from first term cancels out 2 from second. Same 3 cancels out 3. 4 will also cancel out the next term. My n minus 1 will get cancelled, and similarly my n is also getting cancelled. So my final answer is 1 plus n, or you can write it in n plus 1 also. Fine. This is my final answer. The product of all these terms. Yeah. What happened? Everyone
Nothing,
got
sir.
it? Got
Yes,
it,
sir.
right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we are
Yes,
just
sir.
generalizing it. Like we have earlier, we had taken n to be a number 50. Now I have generalized that it can be any value n, any number you can think of n. Okay, great. So this is like it was nothing different from the previous question. Just we had taken any random value n, so we can just proceed it that way. Okay, great. So moving ahead, similarly, one or two more examples before giving you questions related to it. So taking its example, so we have something like 1 by 1 into 1 plus d plus, okay, or let me take it d at the top. So it is basically d by 1 plus d into 1 plus 2d plus d by 1 plus 2d into 1 plus 3d, so on, d by 1 plus 3d into 1 plus 4d, and so on. Fine. Up to my last term, that is d by 1 plus 100d into 1 plus 101d. Fine. Everyone got the question?
So can you
Yes.
explain one?
Sorry? D is any natural number. Sorry, D is any real number. What happened? Vignesh, you were telling something like this.
Nothing, sir.
Okay, I thought, okay, anyways. So yeah, how do we do it? How do we do it? So again, the same thing actually. You pull out any term. Okay, you pull out any term. So its terms are basically represented as sigma. I is going from 1 to 100. Okay. Then we have d by, if you look at it, it is 1 plus id, right? id into 1 plus I plus 1d, right? It is correct, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
Because it is going from 1 to 100 and I am representing it in the form of sigma. So I have this term. Now I just want to split this term into two parts. So I have this term d by 1 plus id into 1 plus I plus 1d. So if you look at it clearly, my numerator can be written as 1 plus I plus 1d, okay, minus 1 plus id, right? 1 and 1 will get cancelled out. I plus 1 minus I. So it will just remain with d only. And my numerator I have in the same place, right?
Sir, can you
I can write
explain?
it like this. Yeah, no worries. So see, I have my d as my numerator, fine. So what I'm doing is I am representing my numerator as 1 plus I plus 1d minus 1 plus id. Fine. I can do that, right? Because when you
Yes.
like, you can take the subtraction. So that is what I'm doing here. Nothing new. Just split my
Sir.
numerator into two parts because I have to make it telescopic, right? I have to make it telescopic. So it has to come in two forms.
Okay,
It
sir.
has to come. Fine. It has to come in two terms. So splitting the first term with the numerator and splitting the second term with the numerator. And after that, my first and second terms will get cancelled out. So if you look at it clearly, it is basically 1 by 1 plus id, right? Minus 1 by 1 plus I plus 1d, right?
Yes, sir.
I have just taken it one step ahead. So you can just think of it that when I am subtracting these two terms separately, So my 1 plus I plus 1d will get cancelled out in the first term, and my in my second term 1 plus id will get cancelled out. So I will remain with this. Fine, everyone
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
got it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So again, now it is very easy for me because I have got this. I have got this thing now. So I can just easily write this thing. Fine. Everyone has got till here now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Sir.
So now, yeah, any issue? Any doubt? I mean, did you want to ask something?
No, sir.
Okay, great. You have understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So again, so like again the same thing. So what I will do, it is very easy, right? Now I'll just substitute values of I. So I as 1, then I have I as 2, I as 3, so on up to I as 100, right? So when I substitute the value of I as 1, I as 1, so it will be 1 by 1 plus d minus 1 by 1 plus 2d. Same thing when I do with 2. So it is 1 by 1 plus 2d minus 1 by 1 plus 3d. Same thing. 1 by 1 plus 3d minus 1 by 1 plus 4d. So on. What will be my 100th term? Can anyone tell me what will be my 100th term?
1 by 1
By
plus
1
plus
by 1 plus 100d
100
minus 1
Hmm.
by 1 plus
1 plus
101d.
1 not 1
1
days.
1 by d.
Correct. So now काटने का काम शुरू करते हैं. So first term इसने काट दिया. Same इसने काट दिया. Same इसने काट दिया. So can I say my first term of last term will also get cancelled out?
Yes, sir.
Same. So I am left with just two terms. It is 1 by 1 plus d minus 1 by 1 plus 101d. Correct?
Yes,
Got
sir.
it, everyone?
Sir. Yes,
Everyone?
sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, really good to hear that. Fine. So moving ahead, so like it was not tough. Just you needed to split the denominator. So now what I am teaching you now, this one is a bit important question. Okay, so just make sure you understand this one correctly, like accurately. Okay, so it is basically sigma. Okay, I is going from 1 to let me take 1000. Okay, and it is 1 by I into I plus 2. Fine. 1 by I into I plus 2. Or let me take it for your easy. I'll take it 2 by I plus I into I plus 2. Fine. Everyone understood the question? Everyone understood what I'm asking?
Yes, sir.
हाँ मतलब क्वेश्चन समझ आना चाहिए. Rule number 1. So it is basically 2 into 1 by 3, 1 into 3 plus 2 by 2 into 4 plus 2 by 3 into 5, so on, up to 2 by 1000 into 1002. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hmm. So in this thing, you will just realize there is a special in this series, you will realize that there is a special property. So, okay, anyways. So my general term is 2 by I into I plus 2. Fine. So again, how can I write my numerator 2 as? My it can be written as this thing, right? I can write my
Yes,
numerator
sir.
2 as I plus 2 minus I. So now
Yes,
just
sir.
opening with the brackets, so this thing can be written as 1 by I minus 1 by I plus 2. Fine,
Yes, sir.
right? It is correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
correct. Yes, it is correct. Absolutely correct.
So
But
how are
now,
we getting numerator one, sir?
uh, like you can just see it is I plus 2 by I into I plus 2. Okay, minus I by I into I plus 2. So from the second term, I is getting cancelled. From the first term, I plus 2 is getting cancelled. So that is why it is 1 by I minus 1 by I plus 2.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Okay, great. So yeah. So just writing this term in terms of sigma. So how do I write it in sigma? Anyone? Anyone? Sigma? Sigma male? Batao. So it is basically 1 by 1
Sigma.
minus 1 by 3, right?
Yes, sir.
The next term is 1 by 3,
Wait.
sorry, 1 by
1 by
2
2.
minus 1 by 4.
1 by 4.
अरे यार अब तो दिक्कत आ गया ना, कैंसिल ही नहीं हो रहा.
कैंसल नहीं होता.
कैंसिल हुआ ही नहीं ना, कैंसिल ही नहीं हुआ इसमें.
नहीं.
1/3 है यहाँ, 1/2 और 4 है, कैंसिल ही नहीं हो रहा. अब क्या करें? सो चलो एक और आगे का टर्म लिखते हैं. तो इट इज 1/3 minus 1/5, right? My next term 1/4 minus 1/6, so on. What
Sir,
will be my
second
last
term
term?
and fifth term, sir.
हाँ, correct. Nice observation. And what will be my second last term? Can anyone just tell me what will be my second last term? My second last term. Anyone? This is my last term. Okay, 1/1000 minus
1 by
1 by
999.
999.
Yes, sir.
minus 1 by.
minus 1
What
by
will be my?
1000.
1 by
It will not be
1000.
1000. No, it is not 1000.
Sir, 1.
It is 1001. It is 1001.
1001. 1000.
Correct. 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 1001. So what is happening special in this series? What is happening special here is that instead of cutting it from the immediately next term, it is getting cancelled out with one term. Okay. With one term in between. So my first term is cancelling out my third term. My second term is cancelling out my fourth term. So there is one space left in between to cancel out. So that is why this kind of series is a bit special. I hope everyone got it, why it is special. Everyone understood why it is special?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Because it
Yes.
is not cancelling out the immediately next term. It is cancelling out, like the first term cancels out the third term. So there is one space left in between. Fine. Okay. So similarly, my 1/5 will also cancel out some term. My 1/6 will also cancel out some term. Can I say my 1 by 999? 1/999 will also get cancelled out. Can I say that?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
And my 1/1000 will also get cancelled out.
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
No, sir.
My 1/1000 will not get cancelled out. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
It will, sir.
It
Sir,
will
it
get
will be
cancelled out.
cancelled out.
It will
Yes,
get cancelled
sir.
out. It will
Yes,
get cancelled
sir.
out from the previous term.
Yes, sir.
It will get cancelled out. It should.
1101, it will be not, sir.
Answer
It will get
1000.
cancelled out. So my final answer is 1/1 plus 1/2 minus 1/1001
Minus 1 by
1 by
1001
1000.
minus 1 by 1002.
So we are left with four terms, right? We are left with four terms in the last. Earlier we were only left with two terms because it was cancelling out the immediately next term. So there are two buffers left here, two terms left here, right? My minus 1001 will not get cancelled out because it has to get cancelled out from the one term, like one more term. If it was there, it would have got cancelled out. But अब नहीं होगा. अगर एक टर्म और होता ना यहाँ पे, then only my 1001 could have got cancelled out. Now अब नहीं होगा. So that is why we are left with four terms. Okay. So can we generalize this? Can we generalize this question? So basically sigma I is equal to 1 to n. Okay. Now just taking this question one step further, just taking out the common term 2. So now it is I into I plus 2. 1 by I into I plus 2. How would you do it? I have taken out a 2. I have taken out a 2 from the numerator. So what will happen? What will happen? Anyone? No one? Sigma की property भूल गए सारे. What is the property of sigma?
Sum.
Addition.
Arre, see, I am telling you, there was a 2 earlier, okay? 2 at the top earlier. Now we don't have a 2. So what can I do in that place? That is what I'm asking.
Distributive property.
Distributive, okay,
Sir,
matlab,
can we write
हाँ,
1 as I plus 1 minus I?
I as,
Sir, 1 as I plus 1
हाँ,
minus I.
okay, how will that work?
So
How
I
will
think
that work? Can you tell me? Tell
you are
me,
asking that.
how,
I think you are
like,
asking.
but that
Wait,
will not create, that will not create a telescopic series. That won't create a telescopic series. So it is very easy. What you can do is just use that property of sigma. She had correctly told that it is distributive property only, but we have a property of sigma that your constant can go outside, right? If you remember, what was happen if I had something like this? So I was writing it C f of I, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone remembers this property. Your constant goes outside
Yes, sir.
your sigma. The same thing I am doing over here. I require a 2 inside. I require a 2 inside. So I am taking a 2 inside and sending 1 by 2 outside. That is allowed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
can do that. What is wrong in that? So just approach the question in the same way. So now it has become half of sigma I is equal to 1 to n. Now this term can be written as 1 by I minus 1 by I plus 2. Fine?
Sir.
Yeah. Doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. You got it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So what I'm doing is I'm writing it as half of, okay, half of, now I'll just put my terms. So it is half of 1 by 1 minus 1 by 3. Then I have half of 1 by 2 minus 1 by 4. Then I have half of 1 by 3 minus 1 by 5. So on. What will be my last term? My last term will be half of 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 2. Right? What will be my second last term?
Yes, sir.
Can anyone just tell me my second last term?
Of 1 by
My-
1 by
हाँ,
n
n
minus 1
minus 1
minus 1 by
minus
n plus 1.
n plus 1.
correct,
Next
correct,
one.
correct, correct, absolutely correct. So that is how we proceed. So chalo, करें. Should we start cancelling?
Yes, sir.
Great. So 1 by 3, 1 by 3, third term. Right. And along with that, if you notice, my half is also constant. So that will also get cancelled out. Right? Can I say my half will also get cancelled out along with my 1 by 3? Basically, when my 1 by 3 is getting cancelled out, so it has got nothing to do with this half coming because it is common to the whole series. Right? So my half won't affect anything. Half is just coming there. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So same thing. 1 by 4. My 1 by 4 here. 1 by 5, 1 by 5. So can I say my 1 by n minus 1 will get cancelled out?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
And what
Yes,
about
sir.
my 1 by n? What about my 1 by n?
Yes, sir. It is
It will
also.
So it
cancel,
is
sir.
also cancelled
1
out.
by n. Correct. 1 by. So I am just left with. So what is my final answer? Can anyone just tell me final answer?
1/2
1/2 plus 1/4.
अच्छा you have अरे यार ऐसे
minus
ठीक है, no worries, no
1
worries.
by
Just take 1/2 common na. Why are you taking it out of the bracket? No worries. You can
Yes,
just leave
sir.
your answer as it is.
1/2
1
into
by
1/1
1
minus 1/2 plus
1
1
by
minus
n
1 by
plus
n plus
1.
1 minus 1 by n plus 2.
Right? Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. So I
Yes.
just have one small homework problem for you, and this one is a little bit tricky than the previous one. So in this, I will go from 1 to n. Okay. And in 1 to n, it is 1 by I into I plus 3. So just looking at the question, can anyone just tell what will happen in this question? Just looking at the question only, we are able to tell that something more one level ahead it is going. So what is that level? Like what is happening in this question? It is 1 by I into 1 by I plus 3, right?
Sir,
So
1/3
what?
constant
into
answer.
Yeah, like 1 by 3 is constant, and that is the easy part. The difficult
this
part
will
is,
cancel out after
Later become.
three
correct,
terms,
correct,
sir.
absolutely correct. So basically,
Terms is
there will be two terms left in
Two.
between. Right? So my final answer will have how many terms? Can you just tell me
6.
fast, fast? Six
6.
terms. Absolutely correct. I
6
will be
terms.
left with six terms. I will be left
Yes,
with six
sir.
terms at the last. So you
Yes,
can just,
sir.
when you solve this question, so just verify your answer that you should have six terms left in total at last. Fine?
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Great,
sir.
great, great. So ठीक है, तो बढ़ते हैं फिर.
So
एक
can
और
you show
सवाल
the
करवाता हूँ.
question once again?
हाँ, sure. Anyways, I share the PDF with you, so it is nothing to worry.
Okay, sir.
Fine?
Thank you.
Fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us do one more question. Sigma. Okay. 1 by under root I plus under root I plus 1. Fine. Into I will go from 1 to n. See, I'll just tell you one small thing, that taking from 1 to n is the difficult part. Okay. Like if I ask you to take n as a specific number, so it is much easier to approach, because you have a limit at the last. Okay, you put that value and it is easier. So that is why I'm just preparing you for the difficult, that what will happen when you have n as an arbitrary number, as any natural number. So these things are actually difficult to solve compared to taking n as a value, right? I hope you get it. I hope
Yes,
you
sir.
get what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, if I put n in place of n, I take 1,000 or any number. So it is much easier to solve it in that way, because at the last you don't get a variable, you get a value only, a specific value, like we used to do earlier. Okay, so here I have taken I from 1 to 100. So in your final answer, you have got your final numbers, right? Same thing here. You have got numbers. But when we take it from I is equal to 1 to n, so now you need a little bit algebra also. So that is why it becomes little bit tough. Like not there is not too much difference. So yeah, how will you approach this question? So see, it is 1 by under root I into under root of I plus 1. Okay, this is my general term. So I can multiply my numerator and denominator with under root I plus 1 minus under root I. Okay, same thing goes above also. Fine?
Rationalizing.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
You have learnt it in your ninth grade, I guess. Ninth class,
Yes.
है ना?
Yes, sir.
है ना?
Yes, sir.
What happens to my denominator? Can just anyone tell me मेरा denominator क्या बनेगा?
Sir, A plus
Anyone?
B
A
square
square
would
minus B
A
square, sir.
minus B
हाँ, a
Uh,
square minus
in the
b square.
form of.
So it is
Yes,
basically
sir.
under
I
root
plus
I plus
I
1
plus
square
1, sir.
minus under root I whole squared, right?
Yes, sir.
I
So
plus
it is
1
basically,
minus I, sir.
what is I plus 1 minus I?
1,
1,
sir.
sir.
What is,
1, sir.
correct. So it is basically under root I plus 1 minus under root I, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So easy हो गया अब तो, easy.
Yes, sir.
अब तो कर लोगे ना? So चलो करते हैं. So this is my general term of this series. So I is going from 1 to n. So I'll just substitute I as 1. So what will happen when I substitute I as 1? So it is under root 2 minus under root 1. Correct?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
substituting as 1. Then I'm substituting I as 2. Then I'm substituting I as 3. So on. My last term, under root n plus 1 minus under root n. Fine. Now, what is happening here is it is cancelling in the opposite direction. But it is not very difficult to think of. Is it difficult?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
So earlier it was cancelling in this direction, left, southeast. Okay.
Yes. Now
Southwest.
opposite.
It was cancelling in southwest direction. Now it is cancelling in southeast direction. So basically, first term from first term, okay, is cancelling my second term from second term. So it is cancelling in this direction, right? It is cancelling in this direction. Is it difficult? Does
No,
anyone
sir.
feel it is difficult? Okay.
No,
हाँ तो
sir.
बोलोगे भी तो मैं क्या कर लूंगा, अब जो है वो तो है ही. If you feel it is difficult, so like what can we do about it? जो difficult है वो तो है ही. So हाँ, so अब बताओ लास्ट में कौन सा टर्म बचेगा. In my last term, which of these will get cancelled out and which one will remain?
Under root n plus
Under
1.
root
Root n plus 1.
under root n plus 1 will remain, right? And my
Yes,
under root
sir.
n will get cancelled out. So
Yeah,
basically, my
sir.
final answer is under root n plus 1
N plus
n
1
plus
minus under
minus
root
1
1.
minus
under root 1.
under root 1.
Sir.
Fine, correct, absolutely correct. So this is
So we
correct.
can write it as
Hmm. हाँ,
under root
बोलो
n
बोलो.
plus under root
हाँ
n
बोलो
plus
बोलो.
1 minus 1.
हाँ यार, अंडर रूट 1 तो यार सभी को पता है. ठीक है, ये लो ऐसे लिख दिया बस. ठीक है, यही चाहिए था. दिस इज व्हाट यू वांट.
Yeah, sir.
हाँ तो यार अंडर रूट 1 तो पता ही है. ठीक है, करेक्ट. आई हैड जस्ट रिटन इट बिकॉज आई वाज समिंग अप फ्रॉम हियर ना. तो हाँ करेक्ट. नाउ अब आते हैं थोड़ा. दिस वन इज रियली रियली इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, द वन आई एम गोइंग टू डू राइट नाउ. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज इट इज सिग्मा. यार सबसे पहले एवरीवन हैज स्टडीड ट्रिग्नोमेट्री ना.
Yes, sir.
ट्रिग्नोमेट्री पढ़ रखी है ना. व्हाट इज फॉर्मूला फॉर साइन ऑफ a माइनस b.
Sin A cos
Sin
B
A cos B minus
Sin
cos
cos
A
b
sin
minus
A.
cos
sin A.
a.
हाँ चलो चलो, ओके ओके, आता है. हो जाएगा हो जाएगा. It is very important because like it has been asked many times also. So sin of some value d. Okay, और चलो यार अभी d में कंफ्यूजन नहीं करते, कुछ वैल्यू ले लेते. कैन यू जस्ट टेल मी वैल्यू ऑफ a एंड d. वैल्यू ऑफ a एंड d एज पर योर चॉइस. ज्यादा बड़ी मत लेना. एनी वैल्यू ऑफ योर विश.
1 and 2.
ओके फाइन. हाँ करेक्ट. सो अरे यार 1 plus 2i. ओके, I into 2 is 2i plus cos into 1 plus I plus 1 into 2. Fine. Everyone understood the series? What I'm trying to ask? Okay, so can you just write it in write this thing in the expanded format for me currently? So basically, I'm asking you sine of 2 by cos of 1 plus 2. What is 1 plus 2? 1 plus 2 is 3, na? Into cos of
Yes.
what is this thing? It is 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Cos 5.
So plus sine 2 by अब 1 से इंक्रीज होता रहेगा, राइट. It is correct, right? Why are you not speaking?
Sir, it is 5, I think. 5
अरे यार
cos
हाँ हाँ,
5.
just a minute. अरे यार हाँ, मतलब it has to increase by 2. Just a second. Just a minute. So it is 2 now. So 2 into 2, it is 5, right?
Yes,
5
sir.
and here we have 7, right? And here we have 7. And what will be my next term? It will be 9,
9.
right?
Yes, sir.
So on up to the last term. Okay. So I won't be writing the last term just for the sake of calculation. Fine. So this is basically what my series is. Everyone has understood the series, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone has got it. What I'm asking, what the series
Yes, sir.
is. Because
Yes, sir.
many a times what happens is they give you the series in this expanded format also. So in order to understand the expanded format and both, like, you should be able to get both the sigma operator and the expanded format. Both of these you should be able to clearly understand. Fine. Because when question comes in JE, so either they can ask in this expanded whole format or they can give you in this sigma operator. So both of these should be equivalent to you. Fine. Okay. So just looking at its ith term, obviously. So what is it? Ith term, it is sine 2 by cos 1 plus 2i, right? Divided by cos of, what is this thing? 2i plus 3,
1
right?
plus.
Right? I have opened the bracket and written it like this. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Got
Yes,
it, right?
sir.
I can write it like this. Fine. I have just opened the bracket and added up. So now I have numerator in the sign. Okay, I have sine in numerator. So my inside thing, it is 2. So 2 can be written as 2i plus 3 minus 2i plus 1. Right? It is cos of 1 plus 2i into cos of 2i plus 3. So 1 plus 2i is also 2i plus 1 only. Just written it in opposite format. Is everyone got till here? Has everyone got till here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ. तो चलो अब a minus b लिख दिया है. Okay. Treat your 2i plus 3 as a. Treat your 2i plus 1 as b. अब कैसे करोगे? So it is basically sine of a minus b, right? Your numerator
Yes,
is
sir.
sine of a minus b. तो अब बताओ यार, sine of a minus b. Anyone?
Sin
जिसने
2a
ट्रिग्नोमेट्री
plus
पढ़ी है.
3.
सॉरी.
Sin 2 plus 3.
अच्छा, अरे पहले इसका फॉर्मूला तो बता दो. Sine of a minus b
Sin
फॉर्मूला.
a, sin a cos b minus.
Sin A cos B plus sir.
प्लस होता है.
Cos B sin A.
श्योर है?
Minus,
प्लस होता है
sir.
कि माइनस? माइनस होता है. करेक्ट. इट हैज टू बी
Minus.
Minus.
माइनस. देखो मैं
Cos
तो
a, cos a
सी आई
sin
हैव
b.
see I have neither do I remember this formula nor do I know anything, but मेरे को ये पता लग गया कि माइनस आएगा. Can anyone just tell me? मुझे पहले ही पता था कि माइनस आएगा. Can anyone tell me how I knew that it will definitely be a minus over here?
फॉर्मूला में माइनस है ना सर?
A minus b.
हाँ. नहीं वो है रे यार, ऐसा क्या है? ऐसे
A
तो cos of a
minus
minus
b,
b
sir.
में, इसमें तो प्लस आता है, इसमें तो प्लस आ जाता
हाँ
है.
सर.
ले. तो ये क्या लॉजिक हुआ? Now I knew beforehand that there was going to be a minus.
बोलो
Can
sin
anyone
a.
Can anyone just tell me how?
Sin
Before
सर वो
be,
फॉर्मूला है वो सच हम भी याद रखे.
अरे मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि
a sin
I don't remember the formula, but still I knew that there was a minus coming. Because what am I teaching? यार शुरू से क्या पढ़ा रहा
sir
हूँ?
a minus
टेलीस्कोपिक सीरीज आ रही है ना? See, there is what I am teaching is
yes, sir.
telescopic series. So it has to involve a minus sign to cancel out the terms, right? To cancel out the immediately next term. There has to be a minus coming in somewhere. Minus कहीं ना कहीं तो आएगा.
हाँ सर.
if अगर यहाँ पे प्लस हो जाता, okay, I am just assuming that you are telling me that there is a plus here. So what will happen? All my terms will go with plus 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 plus. So यहाँ वाला टर्म इसको कैंसिल कैसे करेगा? In order to cancel, I need a minus. So just by looking at the question only, I knew that there was a minus coming in somewhere. Fine. Understood the logic I am trying to tell you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like in mathematics, it helps you sometimes that in case you have forgot a formula, So just think that what is the basic concept we are using here? The concept we are using is telescopic series. So it has to have a minus somewhere in order to cancel out the terms. Okay, great. So this thing can be written as basically sine of 2i plus 3, right? Into cos of
To cos of
2i plus
2i
1
plus um,
min
minus
into minus cos of 2i plus
2i
3
plus 3 into
into sine
Cos
of
sine.
of
2i plus 1,
2i.
Yes, sir.
right?
yes,
And what is my denominator is the same thing. So it is cos of 2i plus 1 into cos of 2i plus 3. Fine? Whole by cos of 2i plus 1 into cos of 2i plus 3. Fine? अब बताओ क्या होगा? So from the
Yes,
first
sir.
term, numerator and denominator, cos of 2i plus 1 is getting cancelled out. And from my second term, cos of 2i plus 3 is getting cancelled out. So basically my ith term remains as tan of 2i plus 3 minus tan of 2i plus 1. Fine? Everyone, got it?
Yes, sir.
This is what my ith term is. अब ये है मेरा ith term. अब इसको ऐड करना है from I is going from which value to which value? I is going from 1 to 1000. Okay. अब इसका सम लेना है. कैसे लेंगे भाई? बताओ कैसे लेंगे? So वही है, values put करो. So it is tan of, what is this thing? I am putting I as 1. So it is tan 5
5.
minus
5.
tan 3, right?
3.
Tan 5 minus tan 3, right? I am putting I as 1. Then I am putting I as 2. So what will happen if I put I as 2? So it will be tan of
Tan 7.
tan
7
7
sir.
minus tan 5,
Yes sir.
right? Same thing.
Yes,
चलो
sir.
अगला बताओ. अगला 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 जल्दी जल्दी.
Tan
9
9
minus tan 7.
minus
Tan
tan
7.
tan 7.
So on. My last value at 1000, right? I at 1000. So I is 1000, so it will be tan of 2003. Fine.
Yes,
Minus
sir.
tan of 2001. Great. आ गया? कुछ आता हुआ
हाँ.
दिखा?
Yes,
Saw
sir.
something coming your
Tan
way. Ah, so now tan will get
tan
cancelled,
of 5.
Yes sir.
right? So at my last, tan of 2001 will also get cancelled out. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So my
sir.
final answer will be tan of 2003
Minus
minus
tan
tan
of
of 3. हाँ ठीक है, अभी इसको ऐसे ही छोड़ देते हैं, ज्यादा मतलब वो दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है. मतलब वो
Sir,
मेनी पीपल tan नहीं माइनस tan भी वाला दिखा दे. हाँ या
एग्जाम में
व्हाट
लास्ट में
हैपेंड?
से छोड़ के क्या भी नहीं होता.
सी लाइक फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट इज नॉट अ पार्ट ऑफ योर इसका सिलेबस, बोर्ड का सिलेबस का पार्ट नहीं है ये, कॉलेज में
नहीं
नहीं
सर.
पढ़ाते ये. जेई में तो यार भाई, जेई में सवाल ऐसे थोड़ी पूछेगा ना. जेई won't ask questions like add this series, what is the final answer? So what will happen is they are adding this series. Okay, they will give you 4 options and ask you what is the sum of this series, something like that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, how do you know
Like
that last is tan
how
to
do we know?
tan into 2003 last?
Because in order to cancel tan of 2003, I needed one term ahead also, right? This would have cancelled out 10, but I don't have any term. So at last, my 2 terms will left cancelled out. Fine.
So why it came 2003?
Because I am putting my value of I as 1000, right? My last value of I was 1000. So when I substituted my last value of I as 1000, so 2 into 1000 plus 3, so it is 2003, right?
Okay sir.
Yeah. So हाँ, तो अभी अभी थोड़ा मजा आ रहा है.
Yes, sir.
Yes sir.
मतलब
हाँ,
थोड़ा ऐसा
sir.
लग रहा है कि हाँ कुछ एडवांस्ड कर रहे हैं. We are not doing what we used to do at what we used to do earlier. I hope now you are able to like clearly get the difference between competitive level and your board level.
Yes sir.
Okay. So relating to this only, I'll just give you one small concept also I had to teach you regarding double sigmas. Okay. So I have a question. So let me explain to you this through a question only. So I have a question. It says 1 by 1 plus. Okay. So it is 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 2. Okay. 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. Up to n terms. Has everyone understood what this series is?
Yes, sir.
Everyone has understood the series. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have got the series. Now the point is, how do you represent this series in terms of sigma? I know I have asked a little bit tricky question. How do you represent this series?
I2.
Sorry? Like I want to write this series in a compressed format. So I'm asking you, how will you represent this terms in terms of series? So I will go from 1 to n. And what will come inside? So either one way you can say this 1 by sum of all natural numbers up to I, right? This way you can write it. It is correct, right? Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
I can write this thing. See, because whenever I am see, if I'm pulling out the second term, so it is basically 1 by sum up to 2. Same when I'm putting out the third term, so it is 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3. So it is basically sum of all natural numbers up to ith. So if I pull out any term I,
Sum of all natural numbers up to n, sir.
up
Not
to
I.
n, no, it will be up to I because I am pulling out my ith term. It is my ith term. Like
Okay,
I
sir.
am n is the last term.
Okay, sir.
N basically represents last term. Fine.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So I am pulling out any ith term. Okay, any ith term from this series. So its ith term can be written like this: 1 by sum of all natural numbers up to I. है ना? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now, how do you represent this thing in sigma? So that is where the double sigma operator comes into picture. So double sigma operator, nothing to get confused. I'll just explain you. So what is happening is I have sigma. Okay. I is going from 1 to n. Now I would require one more sigma. So it is 1 by sigma. J is going from 1 to I. J. I know it is a little bit confusing, but just try to understand what I am trying to say. So, okay. So I'll just show you how it works. Okay. I'll just show you how it works. So first of all, this bigger sigma, okay. Let's just look at bigger sigma. So what will bigger sigma do? Bigger sigma will give value I as 1, I as 2, I as 3, I as 4 to my smaller sigma, to my inside function. Fine. This is what the bigger sigma will do, right?
Yes, sir.
So the bigger sigma is giving the value. So in the when my bigger sigma is giving value of I as 1. So basically it is, what is my term? It is 1 by sigma j. J will go from 1 to I, right? So basically J will go from 1 to 1. Same thing with my second term. So it is J will go from 1 to 2 J,
2.
right? The same thing, 1 by sigma J
J
will
is
go
equal to
from
1 to 3.
1 to 3 J,
Three, sir.
right?
J.
So what is this thing trying to say? What is this thing basically? It is basically 1 by 1. This thing is basically 1 by 1 plus 2,
1
right?
plus 2.
What is my this thing? It is
Yes,
1 by
sir.
1 plus 2 plus
1 by
3.
1 plus 2 plus 3.
Correct. So that is what we mean by the double sigma operator. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So since we have two sigmas, so we require two variables. Okay, we have I and j. N is the limit. N is not a variable. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Any problem, anyone?
No, sir.
सर फिर से बोलो सर एक बार. Double.
So what I'm saying is that, see, what is my sigma operator doing? My bigger sigma, okay? My bigger sigma is sending in values of I, and it is collecting and adding it. So what happens when I send my value I as 1 inside my this bracket, okay, inside my term? So basically what is happening here is my Ti, my term, ith term is basically 1 by sigma j, where my j is going from 1 to I. This is what my ith term is. Does everyone get it?
Yes,
This is
sir.
how I
Yes, sir.
represent. Instead of writing it like this, that 1 by sum of all natural number up to I am writing it like this. 1 by sigma j is going from 1 to I. So that is also the same thing. It is just that I have changed the variable from I to j. From earlier it was I is going from 1 to n. Now I have done that j is going from 1 to I. The same thing. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So that
sir.
is what I have done. Nothing new. Just you need to understand that how we do the double sigma operator and what is meant by the term double sigma. Fine? Has everyone understood?
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
chalo.
sir.
And if you have understood, I just want to know from you of this series, what will be my value of ith term of this series? What will be the value of my ith term of this series?
So,
हम्म बोलो. चलो
क्वेश्चन
रुको
समझ
यार, अब
नहीं
मैं ही
आया.
पूछता हूँ. क्वेश्चन ही समझ नहीं आया. See, I have the series like this, okay? 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to n terms. Fine?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन था. So I am asking you, if you pull out any ith term of this series, how would you represent it? Okay, I have a series like 1 by 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3, so on. Fine. So if I am pulling out any ith term of this series, how do I represent it? So I am representing it like 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3, so on up to I. Right? This is what it means.
Yes, sir.
Right? This is what it means. So instead of writing it in this way, I have represented one more sigma to compress it. I have used one more sigma. And what will be my limits of sigma, my smaller sigma? Where am I taking the sum? I am taking my sum from 1 to I, right?
Yes,
My
sir.
sum is from 1 to I. So that is what I have done here in the denominator. So sigma j will go from 1 to I. That is what I have done. Fine. So I
Yes,
guess
sir.
writing it in this way sounds a little bit easier for you. Now you can just think. So can you tell me what will be my value of ith term? Anyone? यार अब तो ये आ गया. अब तो इसमें तो कुछ रहा ही नहीं अब.
I
This is
into
my
I
ith
plus
term.
1 by 2.
How much?
I into I plus 1 by 2.
ए, गलत. It is 1 by, see, just look at it. 1 by 1 plus 2 plus 3, so on up to I.
Yeah, sir. 1 by
हाँ.
I
1
into
by
I plus
I
1 by
into I
2.
plus 1 by 2.
1 by I into I plus 1
I
by
into
2.
I plus
Correct.
1 by 2.
So in other words, my ith term is 2 by I into I
2
plus
by
1.
I into I plus 1.
सर मैं भी
टेलीस्कोपिक
वही
दिख रहा
बोला
है?
ना.
अरे मैंने 1 बाय नहीं सुना यार. मैंने तो ये सुना तुमने ये बोला I into I plus 1 by 2. अच्छा,
यहाँ
1 बाय भी बोला था क्या?
नहीं सर, मैंने
ओ
1
अच्छा,
बाय नहीं
सॉरी.
बोला था. मैं क्या
अच्छा अच्छा.
सोचा था, आप
तो
नीचे का पूछ रहे इसलिए वो बोल दिया मैं.
ओ अच्छा, नहीं नहीं नहीं, आई वाज आस्किंग द फाइनल वैल्यू ऑफ द टर्म. I
हाँ,
was
मैं
asking the value of the final. ठीक है, fine, fine, fine.
डिनोमिनेटर.
तो हाँ, ठीक है. So this is what my ith term represents, right? Of my series, I have this series, okay? My ith term is basically representing 2 by I into I plus 1. तो कुछ दिख रहा है किसी को? कुछ दिखा इसमें? मेरे को तो दिख गया.
Yes, sir.
Does anyone see anything special इसमें? कुछ दिखा?
Yes,
वन
मेरे को
sir.
तो
बाय
दिख गया
Yes,
भाई.
वन
sir.
मेरे को
बाय
तो
आई
मजा आ
प्लस
गया. मेरा
वन
आंसर
बाय
दिख
The
आई
गया.
प्लस
terms
वन.
will cancel out after two
हाँ,
terms.
correct.
Yes, sir.
Hey, two terms. Are you sure it will cancel out after two terms?
Sir.
चलो यार ये भी होमवर्क कर लो, इसका सम निकाल के ले आना कल, ठीक है? सम अप टू 1 to n.
How will get the value to? Bye.
What is the sum of first n natural numbers? Do
N
you know
into
what
n
is the
plus 1 by 2.
by 2? Correct, Shravani. So it is n into n plus 1 by 2. So I am asking you, what is the sum of first I natural numbers? What will be the sum of first I natural numbers? अरे n की जगह i डाल दो ना, तो यही आ
I
जाएगा ना,
plus 1 by 2.
है ना? तो वही तो है. So that is how where the 2 is coming from, because we have to invert it, right? We have to invert it. It is 1 by sum of all. Fine.
Yes, sir.
I hope you got it now. Fine. So that is it for today. Chandrika ma'am, please stop the recording. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So,
Hello, any doubt, Vignesh?
no, so will you send the PDF just now?
Huh, sure, sure. I do it. I do it in
Okay,
5 minutes. Yeah. Chandrika ma'am, recording has been stopped.
No, sir, it is not stopped.
Okay, ma'am, please stop the recording.
Yes. Arun, sir. Arun, sir, can you stop the recording, sir?